Welcome to the woods. A Tuesday. It's been about 3 weeks since I've had time to sit down and have a chat with you. And I apologise for that. And it's going to change. From now on, there will be a new video every Tuesday. I've made time in the calendar to ensure that happens, because I've missed doing it. I've missed being able to sit down and talk about what's going on and to discuss how best we can move forward in a productive manner. So 3 weeks, not long in the scheme of things, not long, and everything has happened. We've had an election, which seems years ago. We've got a new government in the UK, and I'll touch on that in a minute. We see in America that they've tried to assassinate him. Joe Biden has decided he's not going to run again, or someone has decided for him that he's not going to run again. And everyone's quite invested in what's going on in politics, from the UK elections not long ago, to the American situation and the elections which are coming up. And it's all a show. It's all exactly what we know it is. Nothing changes. Even our Labour government that's just been elected is finding out that you can't just implement the things you want to implement. That the system is there to protect itself. A lot of people wonder why it takes so long for anything to happen, anything to get done. And it's designed that way. It has to go through a committee, and then it has to go to the House of Lords and then the Commons, and then back to the Lords, and then another committee and a subcommittee, and each one of those takes 6 months. And by the time it gets around to you being able to do it, there's a general election coming up, because it's taken 4 years. And you scrap the idea because you realise that it won't be popular. So nothing changes. The direction of this country hasn't changed since the 1980s. The trajectory has been the same. The eradication of manufacturing, the closure of medium-sized and small-sized businesses, the mass importation of people from around the globe. All of this continues. All of these things will continue. And will it make the situation better? Will it make the situation worse? For the general public, for you and for me? Well, at the moment, we're going through a cost of living crisis, which just means everything is very expensive. And your wages, or my wages, haven't risen in line with that, and therefore we haven't got any money. Fuel costs, heating costs, food, basic things. A tub of butter costing £7 is hard to handle, hard to bear. It's understandable that a lot of people in this country are unhappy. They've got very little money. They can't really do anything. The things they used to look forward to, that holiday abroad, is becoming really difficult to achieve. Taking the kids out to the cinema now costs close to £100 for a family. It's difficult. I understand that. And our cities and our large towns, and increasingly our smaller towns and villages, are demographically changing. More and more people from Africa, from Asia. The shops change. I think there's 12 Turkish barbers in my one small, sleepy Wiltshire town now. A new kebab shop, a new fried chicken shop, a new nail salon. And all these people bring families with them, and slowly your town, your city, your village changes. There's a care company locally, there's several, who employ their staff direct from Africa. And I understand we need carers, but that's a job that is really important. And the wages don't reflect that. And it's a shame, because many of the elderly that receive this care look forward to those 10 minutes where they can talk and chat and reminisce with probably the only person they'll see that day. And that's very difficult to do when the person doesn't even understand English and has no cultural understanding of your past. But it seems to be all about economics. And that's not how it should be. So could things change? Well, I think that starts with us. That starts with people, not with politics. And I think we need to understand that we've gone wrong somewhere. In our search for comfort and convenience, we allowed the wool to be pulled over our eyes for that easy life. And it's something we need to come to terms with. That actually, maybe we should be training our own care staff, that maybe we should be training our own doctors, our own nurses. And yes, that's more difficult than it is stealing them from another country, plundering their human resources. It's not as convenient, but it's something we need to do. And this week I've the cat's come to say hello. I've had a few interactions, both online and in real life, and the same question has cropped up both times. And many of you will know that apart from living off-grid myself, I've helped a number of people, over 20 now, achieve the same thing. They saw it was possible, they asked for advice on how to do it, and I've helped. I also had a lot of people who put up the argument that they wanted access to land. They wanted to be able to take their kids to places. They wanted to be able to grow their own food. They wanted some security, but they didn't have enough money. Now I could have said, tough, get a better job. But instead, we looked at how we could do things together. How if we all chip in, we can buy land we can all use. And we achieved that through the Woodlander Initiative. We raised some money. We bought our first plot of land and then our second plot of land. Members have been down and used that land for recreational purposes. What I found really good was that members have been going down a lot. They don't ask permission. They know that it's there for them. They'll just rock up with the family, a couple of days camping, the cat, take a walk in the countryside, and then leave feedback and send messages about the best place to put food crops and an orchard. And there's a positive feeling with all those people that are involved that this is the first step, the very first step, somewhere we can go together, somewhere we can get together, somewhere we can be ourselves, and somewhere we can plan what it is we want for the future. For a lot of people involved, it's getting closer to nature. It's returning to a simpler life. So then we have to look at how we can do that in the UK. And the accusation levelled at me recently was that that's no way forward, that I can't, or this can't save everyone in the country. And they're right. This life isn't for everyone. And that's okay, and that's fine. I'm not looking to save the country. I'm looking to show an alternative. I'm looking to be an example. And I think that's what we need to do. I think people need to change. People need to understand that what's being offered to them and what's available to them now is not good enough. That there is a better way to live. A healthier way. A way where we help each other. But in order for people to accept that, they first need to see it. So we need to build it. It's never going to be easy. But I can't see another way forward. I can't see that we change this country through the party political process. It would take too long. And even if we manage to get into power, we would find that the system has put in place procedures that cannot just be swept aside. And things take forever. What I advocate for is for people to improve their own lives, for them and their family, to assist others that wish to do the same, and on a larger scale to build community throughout the whole of this country, where we have our own land, where we are in control of who uses it and who enters it. To look further than that, to look at living on the land and how that can be achieved, and how those small communities can teach the larger community about self-sufficiency, how that can be spread out nationally. I've said before 100 times, as good as it is for the individual to be self-sufficient and not reliant on the system, it's imperative that a nation is self-sufficient and not reliant on other nations. We should be self-sufficient in our food, in our shelter, for our own people. How do you get that through to someone? You show them. You show them that there's a viable alternative to what's on offer. How do you do that? Well, you start small and you get bigger. As it becomes more successful and it works, it attracts more people. And the lessons learned from those small communities can be spread out. A community where people help each other, where they learn skills from each other. Really, how this country used to be before the towns got too big and the cities filled up. And there's drawbacks, as anyone who lives in a village will know. Everyone knows your business in a village. You'll have a row with your wife on Monday, and the person at the other end of the village is giving you advice on Tuesday. And that's part of village life. But the other part is community. Pulling together. Pulling in the same direction. Helping each other out. There's always someone there to watch the children. There's always someone there to help the elderly. Community. And that's difficult to achieve in a disjointed, atomized society. And sadly, it's not missed by those that haven't got it until they see it. So that's how we move forward, is we build it and act as an alternative that others can see. That changes minds, that changes hearts. Faster than politics will. I'll speak to you again soon, people. I'll speak to you again definitely next Tuesday. I'm quite looking forward to doing one every week again. It'll be quite nice. I did do a video with Wessex Nomad. I've linked it in my community tab. Go and check it out. It's a great little video. And I'll speak to you soon. Be happy, you lot. Things are on the up.